What's up guys? Today let's take a look at Zoomrig, MYALIENDAD. This is a unlicensed third-party Omni man from the hit animation show The Invincible. I did talk to the designer in person during last year's Wonder Festival Shanghai, so I'm pretty confident to say that this is a brand new studio. So far, it's just one guy, and not some older studio under a new name, okay? So as far as the first figure of this studio goes, I think it's pretty decent. It's not perfect, okay? It's far from perfect, but it's definitely not bad and pretty promising, okay? And he's also making a Marvel Rival inspired Daredevil, and the design is based on a fan art, which I think the artist found out and posted on Reddit, and I actually showed the designer from Zoomrig that the artist is pretty pissed about it. I don't know if he has followed up on that, but you know, just a little trivia. Anyway, let's take a look at the figure. First impression that this figure looks really good. Okay, it's, as far as I can tell, it's fully painted. Okay, none of it is plastic color, and the finish is definitely very nice. And let's zoom in and see the details. You know what, let's see the face first. Yeah, I think the face is very well done, although there's sort of a disconnect between the stylization of the face of the body. Like in the show, like everything is pretty much simplified, right? But on the figure, the body has a lot of like muscles and details, but the face is still remains like sort of animation style, simplistic. And can I zoom in a bit more? Yeah, it's printed. You can see the paint dot there, but it's well done enough. I think the flusher around the eyes, the red flusher, is a bit too much for me, but everything else is good enough. Like same goes for the hair, okay? It's very much a animation style sculpting. There's some red brown dry brush on it. It's pretty simplistic. And then you take a look at the body. It's pretty detailed for a sort of comic style figures. The wrinkles and the shadow on the muscle, okay? I think the red paint here is a little bit crooked, but it's not a huge deal. And the shadow on the red part. The legs, I love this. The side muscle is very nice looking, and the darker red shadows really compensate, they highlight the muscle groups. Very nice. Ooh, he got no cheeks. Well, you can't do the Omni man meme very well then. The paint job is like, it's not super sharp. Like I said, here is not perfectly straight, and there's some paint bleed here, a little bit here, and on the boot is like, it's not super tight, but overall the aesthetic is very nice. Okay, it's a very nice looking action figure, and the proportion, let me get the cape out. Yeah, I like the proportion. It's actually pretty Mayfax. Like the whole figure reminds me of Mayfax a lot, but the scope is definitely sharper than the usual Mayfax. Same goes for the paint job and the finish. Yeah, aesthetic wise, I think this is pretty good, but how well does it move? Let's take a look at his articulation. The head can look up, pretty good. Look down, rotation, and tilt. Pretty good. You can clearly see the Made in Yamaguchi inspired design on the upper body, although there's a huge gap here. So if you're doing any sort of flying pose, this is definitely going to be noticeable. So that's a bummer. And the neck peg is, oops, hold the entire thing out. You know what? It's okay. It's the same neck peg as Mayfax, and if you want better looking up, you can rotate the snapback, but I don't think it's necessary because his crunching back is really good, and if you rotate the snapback, his head will stick out. It's gonna look kind of weird. Okay. As for the shoulder, and rotate, no problem. Raise 9 degrees, and you can pull out this much. And oops, let's show the range here. Butterfly range is definitely good enough, and you get a bit up and down. The design, I think the design is a bit too complicated because it's a hinge here, okay, and is another hinge connect to the shoulder. There's, if you can see it, there's a socket here, and there's a ball hinge connected to a socket on the the bicep swivel. So there's one, two, three, four articulation point here. It's honestly a bit too over-engineered, but it does achieve the goal of having a good butterfly range, a good shoulder range, and you can see there's no visible gap here, like as visible as a Amazing Yamaguchi figure. So I guess that's nice. You can see the socket here. Okay, I do have a QC issue with the shoulder joint. Basically, the two arms cannot drape to the same degree. I have to shave some of the plastic here, but still they cannot drape to the exact location. But it's not a huge deal because if they drape to the same location, same position, the shoulder is going to be slightly uneven in terms of height, but the cape can cover it up pretty easily. So, you know, it's not a huge deal for me, but you may want to look out for that, okay? Bicep swivel is very tight. You can see, hear the creaking. And elbow only bend 9 degrees, which is a bummer. They should cut out like this excess joint. Should definitely cut these out and have more elbow range. And ball hinge wrist. The torso is just a straight up Amazing Yamaguchi figure. Okay, just like I showed in the last video, the Will Ash figure, single ball joint, and it's a floating piece with 2 ball sockets inside, and this is a floating piece. And crunching forward is not as good as a usual Amazing Yamaguchi figure, but it's definitely good enough. Crunching back, very good, like I said. Tilt, not bad. Rotation at the waist, rotation at the chest. Like the overall articulation of upper body is decent except for the elbow. However, there's issue that not articulation related but paint related. You can already see a little bit red paint on the elbow when I first bend it, and see a little bit red paint here, and this is way more noticeable because for some reason they painted the inside of the floating piece. It's very weird. I don't know how much a matte finish will fix this, but just something to be aware of. And considering that only a little bit of play will chip the red paint, I don't know how long these red paint will last in the long run, okay? Kind of concerning. For hip joint, I don't know, maybe it looks like it has drop down, but it doesn't really move, or only a little bit, tiny little bit. You can kick forward 90 degrees, no issue. A little bit to the side, kick back, not bad. again, have to kick to the side a little bit. Side about, I think, 70 degrees. And internal rotation like a Mayfair Street figure. Like the whole bottom design is, lower body design, is just straight up Mayfair, okay? You can see the elbow, like, if you bend it wrong, it will look like a Mayfair figure. It's very gappy, and it might stuck when you're trying to reset it. Like, if you didn't bend it correctly like this, you're going to be gappy. And even if you do, it's still going to be a little gap here. Okay, the range is, it's all right. Not super amazing, but not bad. Ankle all the way back. That's good. Forward is only a little bit. Rocker, not bad. Rotation, 360. And a toe joint. It's all right. So the overall articulation, I think it's pretty decent. It definitely lends a lot from both Mayfax and the Amazing Yamaguchi, with a little bit twist at the shoulder, and I think it works well enough. Although I still think it's a bit too over-engineered. The big issue is, of course, with the elbow, right? It definitely should bend over 90 degrees, and they should add a bit more side swivel at the side here. I don't like a side cut. It's going to be very ugly with this muscle, but you know, a bit more rotation will be nice. And another issue is going to be, again, the red paint. If this little demonstration will have this much paint transferred, I don't know how long the red paint will last in the long run, especially with extended play. Okay, that can be a bit concerning. All right, let's take a look at his accessories. For head, he comes with 3 extra. They are similarly done as the normal head. Okay, and of course, if you've gotten right out of the box, you got this mask head. Come with the neck. Okay, and a chest plate. You know what? Let me show you how to swap out the chest plate. It's pretty easy. Okay. Oh, and the cape is wired on 3 sides. The wire is pretty strong, although the cape is, it's pretty thin and single layered, and it is glued inside. Okay, this is a ABS piece. The chest is hollow, but not super soft as far as I can tell. You can see the shoulder is not perfectly even because of the QC issue. Okay, hand, he comes with 4 extra pairs, including the iconic pointy finger hand. And he also comes with a cross-on swappable piece. It's split in the middle. Okay, let me try if I can swap it out. First, you take out the arms here. There you go. And you pop the left arm. Oh my god, really tight. Okay, there we go. Then you pop the shoulder back on. Okay, you know how it works. With a little bit of adjustment, it should look pretty alright. And that's all the accessories. Frankly, I think it's okay, although a flight stand will be ideal for a flying character like this. Alright, and yeah, let's take a look at the size comparison with Mayfac Solar Suit Superman and Amazing Yamaguchi Luke, with Mayfac Tactical Batfleck 2.0 and Jada Toys Akuma, with Stone Arena Nash and UPF Arkham Knight, with Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Fei Long and Marvel Legend movie Wolverine. I don't know how Omni-Man will scale with the newly revealed Battle Damage Mark from Jada Toys, but I assume Mark might be a bit taller than Fei Long here. With McFarlane Toys Silver Age Superman and InArt's Batman Who Laughs. So in summary, I think this figure is pretty nice. The aesthetic is very good, and the articulation definitely leaves some room to be desired, okay? Like, he can't redo the Think Mar meme very well because of the elbow. But overall, considering that this is a brand new studio, I definitely think that this is worth recommending. Just that you beware of all the issues that I mentioned in this video. Although I do want to talk a little bit about the price, because the price for this figure is a bit weird. If you follow my channel and my Twitter, you will know that usually Chinese figures are significantly cheaper in China compared to overseas, right? This one is no exception. However, for some reason, like, this figure is really cheap in China. For us, it costs 40 bucks, around 40 bucks, a little bit more. And the accessory pack come free with the figure, okay? And I saw this figure when it's opening pre-orders overseas. There's some store that sell them separately, okay? And the whole thing probably cost over 100 bucks. To me, that sounds a little bit scummy. Probably they think this figure is not going to sell well in China, so they sort of lowballing it and add a huge markup overseas to sort of explore you guys. And again, I don't really like this kind of practice, so just let you guys know. All right, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.